Hello, my name is Robert Dean Steele, and this is Real Dads. I'm going to talk to you today about the secret of being a really great dad. You know what a secret of a really great dad is? Having a sense of humor. I mean, a sense of humor is an absolute prerequisite to being a father, because your children are the funniest thing that you're ever going to come across. Just recently, my grandson Jeremiah was asked to go and sit on Santa Claus's knee, and he looked at him and said, "I'm not sitting on that circle or on that seat of lies." And all of a sudden, we all broke out laughing. Why? Because Jeremiah was, following up his name, Jeremiah, of course, was the prophet who saw things black and white, and that's how Jeremiah was. Remember this one particular time, my daughter was playing in the bedroom, and we had just received two brand new parakeets, a blue one and a green one. And she had named them, and she was looking at them, and all of a sudden she knocked over the bird cage accidentally. We had a white Labrador dog whose name was Kayla. Without any hesitation, that dog took one of those blue parakeets in her mouth and ate it right in front of my 8-year-old daughter, Rebecca. Well, she comes flying out of the bedroom. "Daddy, you're not going to believe what just happened." I said, "What happened?" She says, "Kayla ate the bird in front of me. We've got to get the bird out." I said, "Honey, we can't get the bird out." "Well, what are we going to do, Daddy? What are we going to do?" Without hesitation, I said, "Well, Becca, if you eat your budgie, do you eat the blue one last? Do you suck it very slowly or crunch it very fast? A mouthful of feathers, and tell me when I ask, if you eat your budgie, do you eat the blue one last?" And she looked and she said, "Daddy!" And then she kind of stomped out. And then about an hour later she comes back and she says, "Daddy, that was actually pretty funny." Now, you got to keep a sense of humor when it comes to children and life in general. Because if you don't smile once in a while, well, first of all, you're going to have all kinds of stress. But you also need to understand that kids do the silliest things at times. And sometimes, yes, you need to punish them. And yes, you need to do something about it. But I can't tell you how many times over the years when my kids were growing up, how that I knew I had to punish them for what they had done, but it was so funny what they had done. And I would have to put my hand over my mouth and step back for a moment and turn around before I was going to deal with the situation. One time my son Robbie had taken all the powder, chocolate powder out of one of our cake mixes and had poured it all over his head and had it all over the floor, and I came in there and the kid looked like a chocolate human. And I knew that I was supposed to get mad over the whole situation, and I knew that I needed to punch. I said, "Robbie, what have you done?" And he looked up and said, "Dad, I'm making a cake." And it was all over him and all over the floor, and I'm going, "Oh." And then all of a sudden I felt like laughing, and then I did laugh. And I go, "Oh, Robbie." And I took him up in my arms and I said, "Humans are not supposed to be cakes." And I said, "Now let's clean this up." So we cleaned it up together. You know, a little bit of sense of humor really does go a long ways of being a parent. I know that you have to discipline your kids. I know that you have to, set boundaries and things like that. But understand this. Children need to know that their parents have a sense of humor. Children need to know that they can joke with their parents. Children need to know that life is not so serious that you can't laugh at it once in a while. And so I do encourage you, yes, you need to do all the essentials of being a good parent. You need to set boundaries. You need to do discipline. You need to be a role model and mentor. But you know what? Having a sense of humor will really help you when it comes to your spouse and your children. Dan Betzer put it this way. He says, take the things of God seriously, but not yourself. So there's a thought for you. My name is Robert Dean Steele. This is Real Dads, and you have yourself a great and godly day.